Hello, welcome to another racket review. I'm Tennisrally, and today I will be reviewing the newest Gravity rackets in 2023, and I have the Pro, the MP and the Tour with me today. The Gravity lineup is a pretty new lineup in Head's family. It has only existed in 3 generations now, so it hasn't been with us for a long time like the Radical and other lineups. But it seems to be a really popular lineup. We can see multiple players on the tour using it. If, for example, Zverev switched from his speed to the Gravity. So one thing that sets apart the Gravity line from other racket brands and lineups is that every edition or every type, like the MP, Pro and Tour, has different specifications. So it's not only the weight that changes, it's also string pattern and beam width and so on. So I would say that every racket plays differently. There's not like a replica of the racket and it's heavier or lighter. It's a completely, not completely different, but it's a different frame and that will suit a different type of player in my opinion. And a bit of a trademark for the Gravity is the head shape. It has a sort of drop shape, so the sweet spot is positioned higher up in the frame. You can see it on the shape. It's not like Yonex has like this square shape where it's more square out and not as round. This has the same idea. I guess doesn't work in exactly the same way, but I understand what they have done and what they're trying to do. But this takes some time to get used to. Actually, I had some trouble beginning my hitting sessions to really find a sweet spot every time. It's definitely odd when you have your other rackets which are not this shape in the head, to be able to find a sweet spot regularly on every shot, forehand, backhand, serve, and then you come to volley, and it's pretty difficult in the beginning, but when you get used to it, I know it becomes the new normal. I have a friend who uses the Gravity for years and he doesn't seem to have any trouble with it. Maybe it's just me. So I think we can start off with the Pro model. The specifications haven't really changed from the previous, so I will just put them up on the screen here. We have a 315 gram unstrung weight, 315 millimeter balance, 20 millimeter beam. Swing weight you can see on the screen. I don't have it in my head right now. So this racket is the most controlled frame of them all. That's why I have more power to compensate with the thinner beam, so you still get some plow through and power. This is the racket of Zverev and also Andrei Rublev. So it's a more demanding frame in terms of power. It's still forgiving because it's still 100 square inches in the head, so it's still forgiving on long reach shots, like it's perfect for your two-hander. I had more trouble with my one-handed backhand since you typically want more maneuverability of a smaller head size, so that's why I had some trouble, but it still felt I got the same playability out of the frame and great feel. So it's just the maneuverability part that I struggle with. Next up we have the Gravity Tour, which is actually a first for me. I haven't tried this frame before. I've only tried a Pro and MP and MP Lite, but Tour I have never tried, so I was really excited to be able to hit with this frame. This frame is a bit thicker than the Pro model. It's 22 millimeters, a bit lighter at 305 grams, and a balance at 32 centimeters. So it's a bit more forgiving, get a bit more power, it's easier to swing, because of the weight, but it's still 100 square inches head size, so it's still easy to find a sweet spot when you get used to it, of course. So it's still like the Gravity trademark frame, like all of them, but you get more power. For me, I thought that this was the best out of the three. You get a lot of control from the 18 by 20 string pattern, which is the same as the Pro model, 18 by 20. So you get your control from the string pattern, you get some power because you have a little bit thicker frame, so I don't feel like I can overshoot my shots because I still have that control while remaining some plow through. Of course you could add some weight to this frame. It's only 305 grams, so maybe some weight. I will put some in the handle, maybe a bit on the top as well, not to change the balance too much. So just add like 5 grams or something. I think this frame would really benefit from that, because I can feel that the weight is a bit too low in terms of playing high level opponents, which can push you around a bit. So last but not least, we have the Gravity MP. Same frame thickness as the Tour model, but it's 295 grams instead of 305. The balance is 32.5 centimeters, so it's a bit more head heavy than the others, to compensate with the weight. So you still get decent plow through because of the balance of the frame. And we still have that 100 square inch head size, but we have a 16 by 20 string pattern. So the pattern is more open compared to the other rackets, which enables more spin, more power, a bit more feel, because when you get a tighter string pattern, it gets a bit muted at times. So this is less muted at impact, which I think feels great. It's pretty comparable to a head radical in terms of playability and power. If you take up the head CPI scale, we can see that the Gravity MP is the highest on this control power index, and the lowest is the Pro, and we have the Tour in the middle. So the Tour with 300 CPI is in the middle. Specs tells for it as well. The Pro, the most controlled, at 200 CPI, and this MP at 400. The same as the Radical MP, and the same as the Extreme Tour as well. So what is the deal? Is the new Gravity game changing? No. Like all the head rackets in the past now, in the past year, they have updated with Auxetic. So it's simply like every 2 years head updates the racket. You need to do something new. If the racket isn't having any complaints really, it's a good racket, they still sell it, but they need to update the cosmetic first of all, but they also update the material. So it has been going like this for a long time, with Graphene XT, Graphene Touch, 360, 360 Plus, and now Auxetic, which they have also removed from the name, because before they had this long name, Head Graphene 360 Plus Gravity Pro, but now it's just Head Gravity Pro, maybe 2023, so it's easier to know what you're talking about and to pronounce it. But it's still the same racket as we have had in the past, and I think if you want to buy a new racket, you can do so, but there's definitely no need to upgrade, and you should be happy with what you have. And maybe you can get some old rackets for sale now that the new is releasing. So that will be all for this racket review. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to leave a subscribe and a like. I would appreciate it a lot. And don't forget to ask any questions in the comment sections if you have any, and that will be all for me. Have a great day. Bye.